Introducing our 5 finalists for this afternoon's Greater Baltimore Open. The 5th-seeded player owns 2 Tournament of Champions crowns. From Beaumont, Texas, Mark Williams. He'll face the president of the PBA and 2-time Player of the Year from Stockton, California, Walter Ray Williams, Jr. Next up is the reigning PBA Player of the Year from Edmond, Oklahoma, Norm Duke. The 2nd seed is last year's PBA National Champion winner from Woodstock, Illinois, David Traber. And our tournament leader also is a past PBA National winner from Chatsworth, California, Eric Forkel. And that's our outstanding field of players for today's professional Bowlers Tour telecast, coming to you live from Baltimore, the Greater Baltimore Open at Country Club Lanes. A capacity crowd watching here, an enthusiastic group of bowling fans, Nelson Burton Jr., ready for the action.
You're right, Chris. This is, I think, the finest field we've had all year long. The players, and we have an opportunity of the #1 ranked player bowling the #2 ranked player in the world in the second match. However, this first match is 2 toughies, Mark Williams and Deadeye.
Here's the handshake now. They are not related. 34 total titles in this field of 5. Each pro at least 1 major title. Mark Williams. All right, his best finish this year was 6th in the Quaker State 250. Grand Prairie, Texas now. Walter Ray. The 2-time Player of the Year gets a break on the right lane.
Walter Ray Williams, 5-step delivery, just won a great natural ability. Crossover steps, watch his footwork. That sets up his head in a real smooth vertical position. Watch how he comes straight across, no pull up at the line. And that's one of the keys to being a great player. Keep that head in a constant position throughout the hit area or the lifting area.
Champion in 2 sports. This and horseshoes. World champion 6 times. The champion is a person, too. As is Mark from Beaumont, Texas. Strike up. High hit, nevertheless, Nelson.
Chris, he does get a good break as he trips a 4-pin. 4-step delivery, very simple for Mark Williams. He looks at his ball, sets his hand, holds his wrist in a very contemporary cup position, and then he'll drop down on that pivot step coming straight through as he drives off very hard, directly towards the target. Look at that real good follow-through. Mark is one of the most versatile players we have on the tour.
The 4-300 shooters this week here in this championship. Mark Williams now with 3 in a row. Double up shooting in the 3rd frame. He gave Mark a little wink on that last strike on the right lane for Mark. There's another one for Walter Ray, Nelson.
Well, they're perfect, Chris. We watched them warm up and nobody was striking. It's has not been a high-scoring environment. In fact, the cream has really come to the top this week as we have 5 outstanding champions in the championship round. So Walter Ray perfect. Let's see how he's attacking the championship pair. Pretty standard. It's almost like a lead bowler, not using much power. He's going to be right in this area. He's going to be just inside that first arrow with a serpentine approach, then right over the first arrow.
9-pin on the left lane. Let's replay it.
Well, just too much toy. 16-pound reactive resin bowling ball cutting through 3-pound 8-ounce pins. They do not respect the weight of the ball, the power of Walter Ray. The 5 is chopped off the 9. Bad break, easy spare.
One of the great spare shooters on the tour, Walter Ray Williams Jr. against Mark Williams. We're in Baltimore, where, you know, a seat on Federal Hill offers a view of the ice rink at Rash Field and the entire Inner Harbor area, which has been restored. Beautiful.
new XS from AMF. It will destroy your old notions of what hook and hitting power can be.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
You know, down in Houston, Texas, the brand new Central Ace Hardware has an old-fashioned rule. The customer is king. And your local Ace has all kinds of new ideas at good old-fashioned prices. New or old, Ace is a place with helpful hardware folks.
Headed toward the halfway point of our very first game of the Greater Baltimore Open, Mark Williams, Beaumont, Texas, going against Walter Ray. Wonderful matchup. 3 in a row, 4th frame. Didn't get the same break that did in the last shot in the right lane, leaving the 4-7.
You're right, Chris. He was just about a 1/4 inch higher on that hit, and he breaks down the 4-7-10. In the second frame, he tripped out the 4-7-10. He'll have an easy spare and trail Walter Ray by 1 pin.
Tips galore coming on our telecast each week, including yours, Bo, Choice Hotels, and you watch these giants cover spares. You can learn from that, can't you?
Well, once one thing, Chris, being really good players, they get a lot easier spares to shoot at. When you're only shooting 9 or hit 9 counts like that, as we had a little light dimming here, must have taken a power hit.
That'll loosen him up. Look at Mark.
You know, that's hard to do to stop. 4-step delivery, middle of the second step, the apex of the backswing, and how can he stop like that with that ball in his hand? That's good concentration and discipline. Resetting himself, trails by 1, 5th frame.
This is his first telecast for 1995. Gets a 5 from his opponent. Nice shot. Needed that.
I like Walter Ray's swing thoughts. See, a lot of players talk about their arm swing or whatnot. As you see Walter Ray coming right inside the first arrow, he's going to leave the half-10 on this. Walter says, I know what I want to do, I feel it, and I have no thoughts on the way to the foul line. That's wonderful.
Okay, close game right here in the first. Next Saturday at 3/2 Central, ABC Sports rolls north to New Jersey. That's right. Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia hits the hometown lanes, hoping for a perfect game at the tournament that bears his name. That's next week, right here, ABC Sports, 3 Eastern, 2 Central.
They're rolling the Vietnam Veterans Pro-Am tonight up there at Johnny's place. One of the outstanding features of that tournament.
And those good guys can roll those strikes, as I saw in their national championship when they came to Fort Wayne, and Al Utak was so gracious to me. Oh.
Well, he's the dude in that Vietnam crew. You see Mark Williams playing the big hook. He's going to swing it right in this area. He has a better carrying ball than Walter, but he has more room for mistake. And there it proves it. Walter repped the 10-pin on that particular shot when he was up there in the 5th. Mark Williams takes it out in the 6th to take a 10-pin lead in a very entertaining match as we start off the day.
That had to be a Delaware tribe scout.
Well, you know all the Indians around here, Chris. I don't know which one came across.
I think it was a Delaware. Maxine Lewis, our publicist, came in from her home in Delaware, so we'll credit her. Another beautiful hit. Again, 3 in a row for Mark Williams, jumping out now to a 20-pin lead. Yesterday, here in Baltimore, Mike Scroggins, Steve Jaros, and Don Mosier took a walking tour of the historic streets of nearby Annapolis, the country's oldest state capital, in continuous use.
Have you had your break today? We all need to get away. There's one place that's on your way. McDonald's is your break today. Have you had your break today?
Riley, Victor Petrenko, and Kurt Browning meet in the men's competition at the Fresh Look World Challenge of Champions. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Chris Schenkel at Country Club Lanes in the Baltimore area, where we've come for 21 years out of the 34. Good to be back, and it's probably the most entertaining head-to-head match that I've seen in years. Total respect. These two pros. Big double for Walter Ray Williams. Another respectful pro, Bo Burton.
Hey, Chris Schenkel with me, the #1 player in the world, and we have a rarity coming up if Walter can win this match. #1 against #2. What do you think?
Well, you know, #1s don't pay the bills, and it's not going to help me today. If it's Walter Ray I have to bowl, then I'm sure I'm going to have to bowl 270, so I'm prepared for it.
You told me last year that #1s are made to be beaten. You're #1.
Well, same goes for me, too, I guess.
All right, Chris, interesting match going. Back to you.
Oh, it really is. We're back to all even. Robert Way, these two are exchanging pleasantries, and I mean that. They have such respect for each other, and they're both so talented. Kidding each other about the luck they may or may not have had. Another solid 9. Mark Williams, Beaumont, Texas. He's 37 years old, 6 championships.
We've already seen this shot once, Chris, and once again,
Yes.
the solid 9 is all the players have been in the pocket every shot. It's just who's got the good break so far.
Mark Williams, a great year in '88. Every year has been darn good for him, but he won $140,999. Television finals 7 times. First this year, it's his 31st total appearance.
Mark Williams playing a little bit tighter line on this line. He'll still be right around the 30 arrow, playing the big hook, has a possible 257 game here.
Tonight, it's a great ride on the ABC family movie. Pee Wee Herman stars in Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Then Jeff Fahey stars in an all-new episode of The Marshal. That's all tonight. 8, 7 Central, ABC. The right lane.
Well, Chris, right now, Walter Ray Williams going at a 237 pace. Mark Williams, 237. Possibility the first tie of the year. Once again, we see a 9-pin, but not quite the same kind as previous shots. The 2 had to take out the 4 to avoid the split.
So it's a spare in the 9th for Walter Ray Williams, a strike in the 9th for Mark Williams. This is the first game. Best performance thus far for Walter Ray was a 5th at the Showboat. The 71st. There's Paige Pennington, his fiancée.
Best chance we've had at a tie game all year. Both top players going into the 10th frame with a possible 237 if they get spare strike situations.
All right. So the Earl Flynn of the PBA, as I call him, in looks only.
Deadeye has a possible 247. 2 more strikes. He cannot shut out Mark Williams. Mark Williams can bowl 257. He will control his own destiny. However, if Walter Ray strikes here, the possibility of a tie goes by the way, or 237 goes by the boards.
Are these great finishers or not, Nelson?
They're the best. That's how they have to get there. Walter has always proved himself in the clutch. In 1993, won back-to-back tournaments on ABC television, throwing 3 strikes in the 10th to win the title match. Once again, he's proving he's tough in the clutch, but Mark Williams is no slouch sitting on the bench.
So there's a 247 for Walter Ray Williams.
Boy, and that last shot was a key shot. That forces Mark Williams to throw 2 strikes to win. He needs 2 strikes and 1 pin. Anything less, and Deadeye goes on to meet Norm Duke. 1 against 2. Here we go. Boy, these players show their experience. Under the gun, just nice and smooth. Mark waits for the ball, and just cuts it loose. Needs this strike to win the match.
Right lane.
Eased up a little. It's going to be a 247, 246 victory for Mark Williams. Chris, we're going to have a first ever #1 against 2.
You mentioned 1 and 2.
Well, Chris, Norm Duke is rated #1 in the world. Walter Ray Williams at this present time by the computer is rated #2. First ever next match. Going heads up.
A 1-pin victory as this ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after this message and a word from our ABC station.
At last, satellite television has come down to Earth. With PrimeStar. PrimeStar offers you a wealth of family entertainment, pro and college sports, the latest hit movies, all with digital quality picture and sound. Best of all, you don't have to buy the dish. PrimeStar is a service, so you get great programming, the use of all equipment, even maintenance, all starting at about $1 a day. All you have to do is call 1-800-PRIME-STAR.
You know, I'm always teaching bowlers how to put fingers into the shot, not just the ball. But you can also use your fingers to save money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE, and you can save 30% at choice hotels like Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep. 30%. Now that's what I call aiming for the pocket.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotel.
Distinctive, comfortable clothing fits today's active and demanding lifestyle. Add fashion, quality, and flair, and you've got PBA Tour Apparel. PBA Tour Apparel, made in America, is clearly the choice of champions, like PBA Player of the Year, Norm Duke. Activewear with American-made quality and style and recognizable value. Call 1-800-521-5212 to place your order for PBA Tour Apparel or your free catalog. PBA Tour Apparel by King Louis, the striking difference.
Saturday.
I could be wired. I should be wired.
See why TV guys said the Marshall is a heck of a lot smarter.
Going somewhere?
More sophisticated and more fun to watch than Walker Texas Ranger.
That was naughty.
The Marshall, Saturday on ABC.
How'd you like a BMW 318i?
You got the wrong table. I think you want the guys in the suits over there.
No, really. It's easier to handle than you think.
A Beamer? I think we should go talk to them.
It's a 318i for you.
Let's talk the numbers.
Well, you can get a 318i for just over $25,000. And with You Can Handle It financing,
Definitely handleable.
the 318i.
Handleable. Is that a word?
You can handle it at your Delaware Valley BMW dealer.
Detailing. Undercoating. Window tint. Auto alarms. There are a lot of things you can have done to your car, but only one place that does it all. And when Z-Bart Tidy Car does it, you know it's done right. Get your car showroom clean with detailing starting at $89. Save money and let the sun shine in with sunroofs from $189. See your Z-Bart Tidy Car dealer in the white pages.
Rob Jennings and Phil Andrews, tonight at 6.
ABC Sports coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels. PrimeStar, we bring satellite television down to earth. And Splitfire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more until you use it.
Yes, in Baltimore. Those 1-pin victories are phenomenal. The 1-pin losses are terrible. 247 for Walter Ray Williams, Jr. A few moments ago, Bo explained why he's ranked #2 in the world and Norm Duke #1. We're here in Baltimore, the birthplace of Babe Ruth, who was #1 for a long time, wasn't he? Well, we're going to go up close and personal now and show you a little more. You get to know Norm Duke a little better. The young man originally from Texas, now from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Hello, I'm
I'm Norm Duke, Professional Bowling's 1994 Player of the Year.
What a year it was for Norm Duke, winning 5 titles and nearly $300,000. But his first bowling goal wasn't to become Player of the Year.
I said, someday, Mom, I'm going to be on television. I'm going to beat the great Earl Anthony. And lo and behold, I was 18 years old, and the very first game on television was against Earl. So looking back, you know, at all the accomplishments that Earl has gotten, and for me to be able to win against him is just something that now I cherish.
Defeating Earl Anthony, and 9 titles later, Norm and his wife Karen, his constant companion, spend time together on the road and in Edmond, Oklahoma. When he's not competing on the lanes, Karen tests his skills on computer golf, a more friendly competition.
The most memorable win would be the very first tournament in Cleveland. The most cherished event would certainly be the General Tire Tournament of Champions in 1994. That was, and still is, the pinnacle of the tournaments on the tour. It's most close to my heart. I'm no superstar or a prima donna. I'm just Norm Duke, and I bowl pretty good.
Crowd loves him. They're always giving the Duke. They're starting it now already. Look at the difference in size. Proving that bowling, you can be any size, shape, form, age, and do it. Maybe not as well as these two, but this is 30-year-old Norm Duke. His best this year was 8th in Reno. Winner of an ESPY. Not long ago. Look off to his right. We'll take the crossover. I don't think he had a chance. He thought that he didn't have a chance, but Butch Soper's marked an X up there on our score sheet. Boulder A. He is mic'd for sound. So let's see how he'll shoot the 2-pin after the light hit. Here's a replay. He may have slipped a little bit. No alibis for this guy, though, I'll tell you. 2-time Player of the Year. So it's a strike and a spare, and Walter Ray, disgusted, will move over to the left. Country Club Lanes, 40 lanes. Owned by Dennis Baldwin. Prominent figure in the bowling industry for a long time.
That's not very good.
I agree. Seems like he's rushing his shots a little bit here. So now he'll have to try to cover the 3-6. High hit result. Ooh! Chops the 3 off this 6. Watch.
That's pretty good.
Close counts only in horseshoes, which he excels at as well. Now Norm Duke. With that double, he's on top. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris. Mark Williams, very entertaining first match. Somebody had to lose, and it was you. Did you wear out Walter Ray?
Well, I obviously didn't wear him out. I was 1 shot away, though. I was really undecided starting the match which ball to throw. I think I picked the right one. 246 is a pretty good score, but Walter Ray's really tough.
How about these two guys, number 1 and 2? Pick a winner. Although Duke's off to a quick lead, can Walter come back?
Well, Walter can come back. He's been bowler of the year twice, and it helps to get a game under your belt. Norm's a little shaky the first frame, made a real good shot in the second frame, but it'll be a good match, I think.
All right, back to you, Chris.
3-bagger for Norm Duke, whose high game this week was 278, low game 162, finished 3rd. 39th TV appearance. Now, 35-year-old Walter Ray Williams. And the graduate Cal Poly still trying to get that strike. He had 9 in his 247 win over Mark Williams, 246.
Chris Walter just can't get untracked right now. Had a little delay, maybe used up a lot of energy in that first game. And Mark Williams told me on the side during that break that this right-hand lane hangs a little bit, as you see the 10-pin, and the left-hand lane hooks a little too much. So it's up to Walter to get untracked and really start coming from behind here.
How do you whip a hang?
Well, how you whip a hang spot, and it's very common in the sport of bowling, Chris. You can do a couple of things. You can throw the ball a little bit slower. That's what Williams decided to do, although he didn't win the first match. Mark Williams, that is. Or you can go a little straighter towards the pocket.
Okay.
Walter will make a decision. You know what could have happened to him, Chris? It often happens when you get keyed up for one match. He played both lanes the same and just threw superior shots and didn't recognize that the left-hand lane's hooking a little more than the right. Now he's slightly confused, and Norm Duke has the edge.
All right, we're in our second game. Numbers 1 and 2 ranked in the world, Norm Duke and Walter Ray Williams. We'll be back with
I want more power. I'd like better mileage. Split fire doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug. 5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. A 4.8% gain in mileage. With split fire, you'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You'll get more power and more mileage for your money back. You'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed.
Just when you thought you knew your way around the game, Columbia 300 introduces a finer point, Barracuda. The new Cuda C with ceramic core from Columbia 300. Experience the power from within.
Columbia owns the world over.
ACC Power Maryland beats Virginia. UCLA takes on Louisville or other regional action. It's Pizza Hut College Basketball Sunday on ABC.
the number 3 player. After 42 games, Norm Duke has 3 in a row, 4th frame. So 9 lead by 44 with the great Walter Ray Williams. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Dave Traber, you had a good week, but are you at all intimidated about the prospect of either bowling the number 1 player in the world or the number 2?
No, that doesn't affect me. As long as it's not my brother, that's all I'm hoping for this time, and I know it's not. So I look forward to bowling good in this match. It's going to be a tough one, but I'll enjoy it.
All right, Chris. He said he's bowling the best he has all year long. Let's see what happens in the semifinal, but a lot left in this one.
Look at that. 5-bagger. 5-bagger for Norm Duke, Walter Ray Williams. Spare, open frame, spare, spare. Now in the 5th, trailing by 54.
Come on.
Let's listen. All right, graduate in physics, Cal Poly. So there's another spare.
Asking for one of his 2 allotted re-racks in any championship match. Right now he has to get on track. He's probably taking that re-rack just for a little pause, a little 20-second timeout, because he has struggled. He has not been around the pocket here in the first 5 frames, and he trails the number 1 player in the world, actually the man he's chasing, by 55 pins.
Look at that, Dave D'Entremont, the halfway point of our winter tour, 86,000. Scott Alexander won PBA last week. Just Stewart, Spalding, Houston. No. Finally, in the 6th frame, Walter Ray pats himself in the back. Good job.
Norm Duke has struggled all week long with getting the his bowling balls to feel comfortably in his thumb. I watched him last night. He fiddled with the tape, take a piece in, take a piece out. what he actually does is put tape underneath a cork gripper to fill up the hole and make it solid. Now, you don't want it too tight, but you want to just be able to hold it smoothly. Well, we're looking at the #1 player in the world, and I'll just show you what it looks like. 6-step delivery, 6.5, a little shuttle step, all rhythm. He's paid his dues. He's bowled all over the world against the best for years, and he just has everything in perfect position. Watch the key of the left arm pulling back as he drives through and squares his shoulders directly up to the target on balance of the line. And Chris, he's halfway for $100,000.
AC Delco has put up the challenge. He needs 6 more.
Tightening that thumb hole once again. You don't want it so tight you feel like you're going to hang in it, but you don't want to squeeze it.
Frank Goen in Detroit is probably saying, go get it. AC Delco. 4, 7, 10.
Well, Duke goes right through the middle there. As you see right here, ball going there. He wants to set up, cuts through the middle. Ouch. Now, he can make that. He can slide that 6 over in the 7, but he's looking at the scoreboard. Should he go for 9? And he just might because of the match game situation. That's exactly what he did, Chris. Right now, he's the 235 pace. That's the best Walter can bowl.
Walter defeated Mark Williams 247, 246 previously. We'll be back.
Most trackers can follow the trail only as long as the weather holds up. Unless it's a tracker spurred on with genuine AC spark plugs. AC plugs fire like lightning for performance so smooth, even the thunder claps. And that'll keep your engine on the trail to a long life.
Call 1-800-AC-DELCO. It's like buying time.
So better track down some AC spark plugs.
It's best right after they shave. They smell so good. And their skin is so soft and smooth. I love that.
Alpha Hydrox Aftershave Lotion conditions, hydrates, and exfoliates your skin with natural fruit acids that can leave your skin looking healthier, smoother, younger.
Do men get better looking when they get older? Some men do.
Alpha Hydrox Aftershave Lotion at drug, grocery, and discount stores.
It's an hour of laughs. You'll fall for an all-new episode of America's Funniest Home Videos, followed by another special videos with new laughs. America's Favorite Videos, Sunday on ABC.
Our tournament leader is another Californian named Eric Forkel. You'll see him in the last game for the Greater Baltimore Open Championship. Taking a practice shot, Walter Ray Williams holding up here on the right lane. Walter Ray needs a strike here in the worst way.
If I've observed one thing about Walter over his decade of bowling out here on the Pro Bowlers Tour, Chris, is he's most dangerous when he's behind. And it looked like he had an insurmountable lead when Norm Duke stood up there in the 7th frame with 6 in a row. However, that lead, as Duke continues to fiddle with his thumb hole, has been cut down to just 40. And it's a possibility that if Walter takes it off the sheet 235, they'll be all squared up. Look
out, here he comes. Even though he lost his balance, no, he fell over the line. What an athlete. He is 6'2", 180 pounds.
What he does when he first wakes up in the morning, Chris, 50 push-ups right out of the chute, strong as they can be. Now let's see if Norm Duke, the #1 dude, can recoup.
5'5" and 123. Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Paul Wiley, Victor Petrenko, and Kurt Browning heat up the ice in Japan. It's the men's competition at the Fresh Look World Challenge of Champions. Then it's on to Colorado for World Cup snowboarding and off to France for freestyle skiing. It's coming up next here on ABC's Wide World of Sports, which we've enjoyed being the lead-in show for all these years.
Yes, we have, Chris.
Infinite variety of sports, right?
You bet. Norm Duke going with a straight shot. Look at this, straight up the lane. You don't even have to do anything like this. He's just simple shot, letting the lane do the work, and he can retake a 50-pin lead with a strike.
And he leads a 3-6. 5-5-123.
Nothing is more unnerving than not having that thumb hole feel good at the bottom of the swing. Here Duke tries to go straight up the back of the ball, gets a little tug on it, and as we said, the left-hand lane hooks a pinch more, and this has become a very interesting match. Duke going at 235 pace, Walter Ray off the sheet, it would be 235.
You know, just a couple of weeks ago, these two professionals were at Radio City Music Hall as ESPN presented their ESPY Awards. And John Goodman, the host, made some great comments about bowling. Norm winning the ESPY earlier in the evening.
Well, the stage is set now, partner. And right now, Walter Ray has come from the depths to have a chance to get right back in this match. Another strike here, he'll force Duke to mark. A double in the 10th, the match will be even. The two best in the world, one had a big lead, the other coming from behind. It's all down to the 10th.
Come on, baby, come on, yes.
Love those wireless mics.
Great players throw their best shots in the clutch. That was Walter's best shot. Right now, he can square this match up as a nervous Duke looks away. Boy, that's tough when you get caught from behind.
You know, with his 15 titles, this man has finished second 22 times.
Well, Chris, right now, this is a big match for Walter. Not so much the title. He's playing against the guy that took his #1 ranking away, and he set up a situation right now that whatever Walter does, he forces Duke to do. If Walter strikes on this shot, then Duke must strike spare to tie. All right, that forces Duke to strike on the first ball, 2 strikes to win. And you know what? Walter Ray just tapped Duke on the back with a message, just go do your best. And that's good sportsmanship. But it comes down to right here, Duke needs at least 1.
Remember, Walter Ray didn't get his first strike until the 6th frame, then strikes out.
He was trailing by 65 pins. Now his opponent needs this strike. If he doesn't strike, he loses. Needs this one.
Another 9 on the right lane.
Chris, it costs us a match. Norm Duke loses this match by 1 pin.
He opened with 6 in a row. Look at that. They're just reverse situation. Open with 6, he closes with...
Yeah, but this shouldn't happen, partner. Not when you throw it. You're the best in the world. You throw your best shot for all the wheat, as we say out here, and he gets 9.
We've had how many before?
Unbelievable.
The first match, we had 3 or 4.
Yep, solid 9.
On the right lane. That is a disappointment. Oof.
You talk about entertaining matches. That first one, 246 to 247. This one's going to be 235 to 234. But what a comeback. Walter Ray's always been known as more dangerous when he's behind, and he proved it here. One stick.
7 strikes in a row to close him out. What a match, what a match. Bitter disappointment for Norm. Player of the year. This week's Choice Hotels Tip of the Week spotlights the advantage of using a lighter ball.
ABC Sports presents a winning never gets old bowling tip. Brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
Wow, what a terrific shot. John, you converted that 310 baby split. That ball deflected right over there. What weight is that ball?
A 12-pounder.
A 12-pounder. It sure helps to make those splits like that. If I was using my 16-pound ball, however, I would have to just nip the outside edge of the 3-pin to get that 16-pound ball to deflect into the 10. Now with John's shot, you can see him with the lighter ball hitting almost solid on the 3-pin. He has more margin of error. The ball deflects over in the 10. Now, the seniors can all learn a lesson from this youngster. With a lighter ball, you get increased speed, more accuracy, and better percentage of making your splits. Remember,
winning never gets old.
Look for future ABC Sports Winning Never Gets Old bowling tips. Brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
There are gut balls and gutter balls. And sometimes, the trophy falls. But no matter what, you'll love the bowlers who have it all on ABC Sports Home Video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to order bowling's colorful history. Narrated by Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. This collector's home video can be yours to enjoy for only $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
You know, winning never gets old, and neither does saving money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve a room in any Quality, Comfort, Clarion, or Sleep Hotel. And you can save 30% off the price of your room. That number again, 1-800-4CHOICE. Perfect.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotel.
Sophisticated guidance technology. Unrestrained penetrating power. Devastating explosive energy. Now available in a bowling ball. The new XS from AMF. It will destroy your old notions of what hook and hitting power can be.
I always said I'd come back here. And minor arthritis pain wasn't going to hold me back. Not as long as I have my Ultra Strength Bengay. It has 3 pain relievers. They only have 1. It's the strongest Bengay ever for deep, penetrating warmth right where it hurts to help the pain go away. Because to me, retirement has nothing to do with doing nothing. Ultra Strength Bengay. Nothing stronger.
We hope you're with us from the very start. This telecast, look at that first match, 1 pin. Look at the second match, 1 pin. Winner the same, Walter Ray Williams Jr. As we look at Dennis Baldwin, a friend, the proprietor, who's done a great job here, and in all of bowling, the yachtsman, Dennis Baldwin.
All right, Chris, as we look through some of the top 24, Roger Bauker's had a great 1995. Butch Sofer, our steady statistician, in 7th. Wasabi, great release. Haran coming up there in the number 9 spot, defending his Splitfire championship in a few weeks. And Leto will be defending his Bud Light championship in Sayville a couple of weeks. Parker Bone will be home next week. Tommy Baker, new daddy. Del Ballard's looking sharp again. DeLutz, his daddy's proud of him. Chris Warren, he's entertaining. The Big D. Tricky, 17th. Doug Kent practiced 500 games in the last 2 weeks. He's ready. Bruce Holland, a local. One of the Scroggins twins in there. Mr. Cool, Billy Oakes up there 2 weeks in a row. Hoskins, Rookie of the Year. Eugene McCune had a perfect game. And Mark Bowers round out the top 24. Chris, couple good weeks coming up.
That's right. There certainly are great ones because we return to North Brunswick, New Jersey. You get to see Lee Livingston at his lanes, Caroler Lanes for the Johnny Petraglia Open. That's a week from today. And then 2 weeks from today, the Bud Light Championship, Stony Brook, New York. That'll be an arena finals. So we hope you'll be with us. That's not far from Sayville. So we're in the New York area both weeks. We're in the Baltimore area today in the Chesapeake Bay. Walter Ray Williams has won the first 2 matches, each by a single pin. David Traber, Woodstock, Illinois, is back in to go against this man. Closed with 7, opens with 1. David Traber, 6-footer, 180 pounds, 32 years old. Won the PBA National Championship at Imperial Lanes, 1994. A 2. Here's the only player to have bowled all 30 events last year, and he's bowled in all 8 this year. That in itself is very important. We'll tell you, follow up on that. But first, here's Bo Burton.
Thank you, Chris. The man who, he never lost that last match. It was just kind of a bad break. The #1 player in the world. Your thoughts on what I think is one of the best matches we've ever had?
Well, I just categorize it as poor shot making. Walter Ray struck out in the last 6 or 7 shots, and he performed in the latter half, and I didn't. And I'm real upset about my performance, and I'll be back, and I'll remember things like this. With that, I'm just distraught, and there'll be other weeks.
Norm, thanks for coming down. I believe you're the best player in the world right now, and you proved it, and you'll be back other weeks. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's a given. They'll meet again, too. Just a laugh.
Wow.
Okay. 2 and sleeper 8 on that troublesome right lane again.
It's a tough spare that Walter handles as well as any of the players on the tour. He goes nice and straight at it, just tries to have the ball carry out both the 2 and 8.
Beautifully done.
Well, Chris, a lot of players like to throw the big hook ball at that with not trusting their accuracy, feeling that the big hook ball will take out the 8-pin.
How did you like to shoot it?
Well, Chris, I wasn't quite as accurate as Walter Ray. I opted for the hook ball if there was a dryer on the right, but if there was oil down the center, I'd like to go straight at it. Right now, Walter is off to an even match.
Wow. I had mentioned that David Traber had bowled in all 30 events last year and the first 8 this year, but Harry Sullins holds that record, 239 consecutive from 1986 to 1993. Well, at least he broke up to 710, some consolation.
Wow, that ball hit the pins hard. Synthetic lanes, they hold the energy of the bowling ball. Phenolic pin decks, which are non-wood pin decks, they also increase the pin deck action. And Traver gets a very bad break as the 5-pin shoots right over the top of the 7. Match will be even with this conversion. Chris, an interesting statistic I ran across this week that the 10-pin used to be the toughest single pin spare in the sport of bowling. However, with the disproportionate amount of oil they put in the center of the lanes in recent years, the 7-pin is now the toughest spare to make. So you got to give it a little more pull across the center. His wife, Melissa, looks on to the match.
Three, 6.
See a little top shot here. He gets his hand over the top of the ball. We've always talked about how important it is to keep your hand underneath the bowling ball. When you get over the top, your arm gets away from your body. You go left to target, the ball drifts high. He avoids the split, ends up with the 3-6 spare combination.
All right, we're in the semifinal match, and we'll be back with more of it following this. Annapolis, which is about 50 miles from Baltimore, has a naval tradition. Here, our trio of PBA stars seek some directions from a midshipman.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading, extreme temperatures, towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State.
Now, an independent test showed 4x4 superior to leading conventional car oils in protecting against deposits that can shorten engine life.
Here's the choice, Thompson's now or rebuild later. Over time, water invisibly weakens unprotected wood. Used regularly, Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofer helps stop costly damage. Keep up your protection, maintain your investment with Thompson's now.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
Paul Riley, Victor Petrenko, and Kurt Browning meet in the men's competition at the Fresh Look World Challenge of Champions. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Standing room only crowd, Country Club Lanes, Baltimore. Walter Ray Williams against David Traber.
I knew that. Wow.
One of my favorite words. There it is. 2, 4, 5, 8. Not to be taken lightly.
Four.
All right, Nelson.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Eric Forkel, the tournament leader and also a left-hander. Do you watch the lanes or do you watch your opponent to make a decision what you're going to do?
Well, considering they're both great bowlers, I'm just kind of watching the way the oil is changing on the lanes. Since I'm the only left-hander, they shouldn't change too much from when I bowled on them earlier, but that pair is a lot tighter on the back end than the pair that I'm bowling on. So I'll have to make some adjustments off of that.
All right, Chris, he says he's going to get more finish than the righties. The championship match is coming up. Back to you.
Nothing but close matches. 1 pin victories in each of 2 by Walter Ray Williams, who's seeded. And here, a 2-pin difference as we near the halfway point. David Traber with a spear-up shooting in the 5th. First title being the PBA National. First and only national title, but he has 9 regionals to go with it. His best thus far this year was 15th at the AC Delco.
All right, we can see how Dave Traber is up playing on the right side of the lane, a very straight shot. He's got a straight approach. He'll keep that right shoulder in line with the target right over the first arrow. And he throws it a little too hard. It's throwing it right through the break. It's just like a putter putting a golf ball through the break. He's afraid it's going high, so he gives it a little extra juice, sails a little bit farther down the lane, doesn't get the wall shot, the head pin off the sideboard, leaves the 4, and he will trail Walter Ray Williams Jr. by 2 pins after 6 frames.
David Traber. Now back to Walter Ray, who closed with 7 in a row to eliminate Norm Duke by a pin.
He struggled on this lane, though, Chris. He's had 25 shots, and he's only gotten 5 strikes on the right-hand lane. So this is a key lane if he's going on to victory.
Still a problem. Look at it. 210.
Well, our tournament leader, the lefty Eric Forkel, said it. Oil is carrying down the right side, and so what happens is that Walter tries to get the ball to break, come back a little bit, but it hangs, and forces the ball past the breaking point, ends up with a 2-10 split.
And that open frame puts him 10 pins behind.
That's where he seems to do his best bowling, though, doesn't it, Chris?
Right, not from now on. That's where he started in the last game.
You're right.
7th frame. There he is. Okay. The semifinal game underway. We'll return after this. Maryland Avenue down in Annapolis is packed with antique shops, galleries, and if you need help, there's also tour guides.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Gotta get some rest. Tomorrow I'm pitching the coup computer account.
Me too. We're competitors.
Sorry, pal. I hear we've got the inside track.
Well, get that rest.
I will.
His stuff will do nothing for his cough.
Vicks NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine.
As I sling the proverbial hash and decant the coffee and witness the results, I am dismayed by the belief that an antacid in a spoon is somehow stronger than a tablet. Au contraire.
A dose of Mylanta regular strength has this much neutralizing power. Regular Maalox, this much. But Tums Ultra has more neutralizing power. And while these have aluminum and magnesium,
Tums Ultra has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway.
So if you must take your antacid in a utensil, may I suggest
Ultra.
A brand new season gets rolling with a road course war. Top drivers roar into Florida as Toyota presents the Grand Prix of Miami, Sunday on ABC.
You're looking at a portion of the country club lanes in Baltimore, Maryland. David Traber, spare up.
Well, David hasn't had anything really good happen to him in the match other than breaking up a split. He's hit around the hole every shot but one. And once again, he doesn't care. He's using a lot of speed, holding the ball on line and trying to avoid that hang spot. Hits light, blows the 5 over to the 7. The 6 does not chop out the 10. Right now with a spare, he would lead Walter Ray by 9.
Stock car racing fan supreme. Dale Earnhardt is his hero. He restores, rebuilds Chevelles and Camaros.
Something to watch for in this match. Every time Dave Traber has not won the tournament, Chris, the opponent goes on to win the title. Now we'll take a look at Dave's position. He's in this zone here, perfectly straight. I mean, he throws a rope down there using a lot of speed, keeping it in play. And just doesn't quite get enough angle to carry the 10-pin. You'll see this. It's about a 3-degree angle to the pocket right here. A 3-degree. Now you take a guy like D'Entremont who gets about a 6-degree angle to the pocket. He's not as good as many 10s. He'll drive the 6 either the sideboard or directly in the 10. D'Entremont with that 3-degree angle. Dave Traber does not have the high carry percentage.
Bob Marks with the spare here at Country Club Lanes.
Key shot for Walter Ray. Lane 25, that's the left-hand lane, 15 strikes, 26, just 5. He needs this one to take the lead. Come on.
Walter Ray, next Saturday at 3-2 Central, ABC Sports rolls into the Garden State for the Johnny Petraglia Open. That's next Saturday on the Professional Bowlers Tour here on ABC Sports.
My good buddy Johnny turned 48 yesterday.
Happy birthday, John.
Getting up there. As Traber looks on, Walter Ray, key shot for him. He struggled on the right-hand lane. He'll have to finish on that lane.
Harry!
Hurt.
Boy, what entertaining matches, Chris. 1-pin differential in the first 2 matches, and here Walter Ray can put Traber on the ropes, as you see a ring and 10 here in the 9th frame. So it's up for grabs. Anybody can win it. A 1-pin differential again. 3rd straight game. With that ball hitting the thumb hole, just kills the shot. Good technique.
And you hear the ball pounding the lanes off to our right. That's the tournament leader, Eric Forkel, waiting to meet the winner of this game. First game today for David Traber. Spare up, 9th frame.
Disappointed. Stuck a little bit at the approach, but he really stayed with that shot, fanned it a little bit, and roped it right in the hole. 4-step delivery. Very anxious. Shoulders a little bit forward, so he slides in or he catches his left heel as he slides into the approach right in here. Stands up on the shot, but you see his arm fan the ball, but he gets it to the hole. Real good ability there. Gets a bad break, solid 10.
Cross lane spare for David Traber.
Traber right now trailing by 2, Chris, needs 2 strikes to take the lead over Walter Ray Williams Jr.'s semifinal game.
We have to congratulate a 70-year-old named Nora Martin of Gallatin, Tennessee, who earned a place in the record book with her recent 300 game in the Nashville City Mixed Tournament.
Oldest lady to ever bowl a sanctioned perfect game.
Best looking strike of the afternoon. Of course, it's only his 3rd.
Agreed, Chris. He's throwing a lot of balls into the pocket, but he picks this lane to finish on. He was the higher finisher in the tournament. He wanted to finish on the left-hand lane. It hooks a little bit more in the right-hand lane. throws his best shot, and right now he can take the lead in the match.
Two members of the Motorhome Brigade, both Walter Ray and David, go from stop to stop in their comfortable homes on wheels.
Well, he put it on Walter right there. Walter, Ray Williams, and Dave Traber. There's really no love lost between these two players out here, too, Chris. They travel in those motorhomes, and they're quite competitive. So he's made it where Walter must throw a double.
So it's a 203 for Traver.
Walter Ray Williams needs 2 strikes and 7 to win and go on to meet Eric Forkel. Anything less, he finishes third.
And on the right lane.
What an unbelievable break. Watch this pin action. The head pin's the key pin. It's going to go to the left sideboard. At one time, you're going to see the 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 standing there. The head pin gets between the 4, knocks out the 8. The 8 falls into the 2. Has put Walter Ray in a position where this strike and 7 pins, he wins the semifinal. He must strike. Dave Traber wins, and I'll tell you what, Traber, look at this. There's no love lost between these guys. There's been some bad blood a couple years ago, Chris, and it carried over into this match. Traber wins. He's going on to meet Forkel.
Almost a fist-like victory gesture,
yes,
but more.
There's more to this than sits out there in the lane.
We get a 10-rounder here, maybe.
Well, there's 2 heavyweights out there. I don't want to pick a winner.
I'll do play-by-play.
But Traver wins the match.
203 to 197. This ABC Sports presentation of Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Just when you thought you knew your way around the game, Columbia 300 introduces a finer point, Barracuda. Cuda C with Ceramacor from Columbia 300. Experience the power from within.
Columbia holds the world over.
Introducing the repair shop at Radio Shack. If it's out of whack
and out of warranty, just call us.
We'll tell you whether you should bring it in.
About how much it will cost.
And how soon you'll get it. I show you get it back. We fix most major brands. Even
we fix most major
brands of electronics.
Even the more
annoying ones.
The repair shop at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Monday, it's the funniest night of television.
Come and get it.
Join Tom Hanks, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jim Carrey.
Aren't they terrific?
Ellen DeGeneres, Jerry Seinfeld, Katie Seagal, and more. The 9th Annual American Comedy Awards, Monday on ABC.
Have you been seriously injured in an accident or by medical malpractice? Then you need a lawyer who will fight hard and stand up for your rights. I'm Jim Rosenbaum of the law firm of Rosenbaum & Associates. Our firm knows how to get results. We know what it takes to get you the quickest and best settlement. Call me, Jim Rosenbaum, 1-800-7-LEGAL-7. I'll answer your questions. I'll see you get the service you need. I've been getting results for over 25 years. If you want results, call me for a free consultation. Jim Rosenbaum, 1-800-7-LEGAL-7.
Whether you're negotiating a deal,
Okay, if you're good, I'll read your story.
Come on, make it 2.
calling in an order,
Skip the strawberry. We want chocolate.
scheduling a meeting,
I'm at the Big Artichokes.
or just checking in with the boss.
Honey, is it okay if I stay another half hour?
The most important thing
Hello?
is that the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile, the heart of communication. Call 1-800-255-BELL.
Marked for Murder tonight at 11:30.
I'm Julie Moran in New York, and coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, it's the men's competition from the Fresh Look World Challenge of Champions in Tokyo, featuring Olympic figure skating medalists Victor Petrenko and Paul Wiley. And from the French Alps, it's the aerials event at the World Freestyle Skiing Championships. And we'll have World Cup snowboarding from Colorado. It's all next on Wide World of Sports. Now let's go back to bowling.
Let's recap the afternoon. 1-pin victory, Walter Ray Williams over Mark. 247-246. Moving on to match 2, another thriller, all champions. Duke eliminated by a single pin, 235-234. Match 3, David Traber comes in and defeats Walter Ray Williams 203-197 in a tense match. So, final coming up, it's Eric Forkel and David Traber.
Well, Chris, the scoring environment is going down. The average for the first 2 games was 240. It dropped to 227 last game because the oil is carrying down the lane on the right side. I think Traber has his hands full with Forkel.
So this is for the Greater Baltimore Open. Look at the field we had here today. All 5 major title holders.
Marquee players, and they've proved it in every match. Every match has been tight, couple 1-pin victories, and right now we're going for the title. David Traber, who's got a national championship he won in Toledo, going against Eric Forkel, who also won the national championship there. Title match.
Appreciative crowd. So a 4-7-10 is the greeting.
Boy, tough way to start. What he needs to do is get that ball over in the 4-7 zone and slide that 4-pin over into the 10. He's got to get it right across. And it's just like this. Get that 4-pin, slide it over in the 10. Chris, much more difficult for a righty than a lefty. Gets 9 out. Now, why I say Eric Forkel has the advantage, obviously he's bowled better than the other players in the 42 games all week. He's a proven champion. And also, as you see the 4-7 being taken straight back, 9 out for Dave Traber. Also, the oil has not carried down the left side of the lane, so he should get more break and more swing on the left side.
Come on.
With his wireless mic on, we may hear a comment or two.
Changing balls, using one ball on the right-hand lane, another ball on the left-hand lane. Interesting strategy. Forkel, a bowling technician, does everything by the textbook. Has one of the real great coaches, Len Mel, out in Arizona. Guy who trained Dave Davis, one of the all-time greats.
Yeah. Made a great comeback after the California earthquake where he had a lacerated left foot and he missed the first 5 last year. Tenacious 34-year-old with 3 titles.
Traver having the same trouble that Walter Ray had. Now, what do you do when the oil carries down the lane as you see the ball sliding by, leading the 2-8 spare? You either have to get more angle attack and shove that ball right up to the head pin, and that's where Traber's real good speed and small hook can be of benefit to him. He can make that adjustment. It's hard for a big hook ball player to make an adjustment with a big oil carry down. And that's, once again, one of the reasons I said that Eric Forkel has the edge. There's not an oil carry down. He'd be the only southpaw in the telecast today. He has a free swing to the pocket. He's open with a double and has a commanding 21-pin lead after 2.
David Traber with his first strike coming in the 3rd frame of this championship match. Eric Forkel opened with a double.
Eric Forkel, just the full grip, tucks that baby finger in there, uses the index finger to balance a shot straight up through the ball. And there's the difference of the oil carry down. Right there, if there's oil carry down and 2 or 3 other lefties in the telecast, he leaves the 3-9 spare. Here you see a terrific shot of it. Now this shot's well executed. He goes right on straight through, right to his target line. However, this ball with a lot of oil carry down would slide by, leaving the 3-9. It pays dividends, however, and he gets the wall shot and has opened up a commanding 31-pin lead championship match. Wasn't a normal 4-letter word that we see used in vain. That was he's begging that ball to flip. Looking a little bit more, it did. He went to the solid 7. You see how he got there through 42 games. The first 3 rounds, 18 games of qualifying, then 3 rounds of 24 games of match play. Forkel, the leader, leads by 30.
And he hung on last night, winning only 4 of 8. Finished ahead of David Traber by 76 pins, and that's what counted to get into the championship match. Today's championship trophy sits inside a local eatery, offering, guess what, crabs and a view of the harbor.
Something is happening in homes across America. Prime Star, the complete mini-dish satellite service, is bringing hours of family entertainment, pro and college sports, and the latest hit movies, all with digital quality picture and sound. And best of all, with Prime Star, you don't have to buy or maintain equipment. The complete service, including programming, can be yours starting at about $1 a day. All you have to do is call 1-800-PRIME-STAR.
You know, out in Burley, Idaho, Ace Hardware is where people get their fix-it problem solved. And where you live, just ask Ace for answers and get great values for all around the house. It pays to know Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Hey, America, something's missing from your sandwich. The great taste of cheese. This turkey sandwich is as plain as it can be, but add some zesty cheese. It's such a hit, they'll vote it MVP.
Love it with cheese.
Give your sandwich a new attitude with cheese.
Sunday at 9, 8 Central.
This man is crazy.
Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss.
I'm failing.
What about Bob Sunday?
David Traber here at Country Club Lanes, who eliminated Walter Ray Williams, trailing by 30. Here's a strikeout. Now he trails by 20. Championship match. Well, here's Bo with a great champion.
Thank you, Chris. Walter Ray, just a fantastic day. You started off terrific, and then it kind of slowed down there in the semifinal.
Yeah, all of a sudden I lost the right lane. It just kept going straighter and straighter for me. I kept trying to make an adjustment, but it wasn't working. In the 8th frame, I just moved my feet back left and just moved my target way left and lined it up, and it worked. And I thought I threw it at the same lane at 10th, but I guess I got a little speed on it, and it just didn't hook up. Got the break and got the strike, and then 11th shot I tried to do about the same thing, but it's, again, too hard. So.
Well, you bowled really well today. I have to ask you one question. It didn't look like there was any love lost between you and Dave Traber out there going into the game. Some emotions going around?
Well, we both want to win. That's obvious.
All right, he was pretty condescending and pretty gentle, but and very political. But back to you, Chris.
Another 9. Okay, spare in the 5th frame, 78 through the 4th for David Traber in this title match. Eric Forkel now is up. Spare working, shooting in the 5th frame. 21-pin lead. Disappointing 7 for Eric Forkel.
Well, Eric's not going to get the ball out of play. His forte, as you see, the line he's taken to the pocket, just about the same as Traver's, just inside the first arrow on the left. And both players are control players, not a lot of power, hit the pocket, depend on single spares, and to string some strikes here and there and stay in the solid 200s. And how about that mistake? You know, when you're sitting on the bench, Chris, and Traver's struggling a little bit, a guy goes up there and can get a strike in the 5th to really put you on the rope, leaves the 7th pin, and then throws it that poorly at the spare shot. It's a shot of adrenaline. There's a replay. He misses by 1/4 of an inch, but that's might as well be a foot. Right now, he only leads by 9.
Unlike a lot of other sports, in bowling you can't recover it. You can in golf, you can in a lot of other sports. But you blow one here, you never get it back.
That's where Traver has to go to the whip. He's given an opportunity. Now's the time to go.
The whip, we are in the area of the run for the Black-Eyed Susans. You've got it. Pimlico.
As you see Kurt Pisano and his dad Chuck to the right of the screen. Kurt, the general manager here, and Chuck, a PBA Hall of Famer, longtime historian on our executive board.
John Travolta, look-alike his son, who graduated at the University of Miami. Chuck, arguably, best bowling writer around.
Right now, Dave Traber can take the lead for the first time in the championship match with a strike. Look out. Chris, the machine stops the action in the 4-pin. And the bowling rules, even though the pin does stay up, nice job there by the pin setter. However, if that had been knocked over by the machine, it would have had to been set up. Here you go. You see the head pin go to the sideboard. It kicks the 7 out. The 7 comes spinning around the pin deck. And if it had caught it just in the dead belly of the pin, it had driven it over. Now he has to remove that pin from the left-hand corner. They're doing that duty right now as Traver gets a little break here. Spare, he'll trail by 9.
Oh, I wonder what it is. Today I've seen more talking between the two competitors than almost any time ever.
I think, Chris, a couple of reasons. One, we've had 7 or 8 weeks under our belt. They're in the same environment. They're all tuned in the tour. They're at top of the game.
Okay.
Secondly, these guys are all champions. As we showed a graphic earlier, they've all won major titles. They're familiar with this championship scene. They're not that nervous. They just have the adrenaline flowing.
Hit it on the button, my friend.
Well, Eric Forkel, 3 strikes, a 7-pin. 7-pin misses it. Strike, another half 7.
It's going to be a hard-earned victory, isn't it?
For somebody, that's for sure. Spares will make the difference. Strikes were the story in the first 2 games. The spares are the story in the second 2 games. Here in the championship match with 4 frame left, they're all important.
I have a friend in the D.C. area named Ron Walker, always bends down like that at the line when he finishes a shot bow. It's hard on the knees, isn't it?
Well, not when you're young and in shape like Eric Forkel.
Yeah, but Ron's not young.
Forkel just trying to get some nice moisture in the thumb hole, heat it up a little bit, makes it feel real good as you get a hold of it. Now he's just taking a standard position. You just see almost a straight shot. He's developed a great technique in his game, a good arm swing, keeps the ball in play. Wow.
An 8.
Well, we've seen 3 or 4 solid 9s, as we mentioned. It was the undoing of Norm Duke in the match against Walter Ray Williams Jr., and you see the opposite for the lefty, the solid 8. That's a hit you could not leave in our sport up till 3 or 4 years ago, Chris. The pins seem to move much easier, and the reactive resin bowling balls definitely impart more power to the pins.
So now it's Traber back up, spare in the 7th, shooting in the 8th frame of this championship match. Sliding by, leading the 5.
Had the 2, 4, 7, 8 standing at one time. The head pin will do the damage. Watch it go to the left sideboard. It's a terrific break, taking out especially the 2 and 8 pins. They're the culprits that make that difficult. Chris, can you recall any single week where all 4 games, I can't remember a separation in a match of more than 10 pins other than the Walter Ray Duke match, and Walter Ray closed the gap, and it was a 1-pin victory.
But I don't remember when we had such an afternoon where the first 3 were as exciting as it could possibly be, and I don't find this one exciting at all. It's even close, but...
Well, it's coming to the 10th frame, that's for sure.
Right. Good performance. His 4th strike of this match, David Traber. But changing conditions can bring that about, where it's most difficult.
This lane actually hooks a little bit more for the left-handed player. He's going to be right in here. Instead of being over the first arrow, he's just going to be inside of it a little bit closer to the second arrow. He's coming up the 9th frame.
His 5th strike of the afternoon.
Well, we have the solid 9s and solid 8s that come in the game, but they come back in a little more different way. Here's a lucky strike. Once again, he trips the 3-pin off the sideboard with a head pin. He needs 2 strikes and 2 pins to win the match. I know his mother, Eleanor, is on the men in the hospital and is looking on. He wanted me to say hi to her and his daughters, Heather and Erica, and they're rooting for Daddy to get 2 strikes. 2 will lock it up.
Come on.
Ranked 6th by the PBA. We had numbers 1 and 2 on earlier. Walter Ray and Norm
Duke. Looking to the sideboard. Official score, Kevin Shippey off to the right. He says, what do I have to get? And he needs 1 strike and 2 pins. 2 pins, no problem. The strike is the key. Biggest shot of the week, right here. Right now, he's opened the door for Dave Traber to win the match. Eric Forkel can spare and shoot 214. Dave Traber now needs a strike in the first ball in the 10th, the second ball in the 10th, and 8 pins to win. We also have a possibility of a tie. Every match down to the last ball today. All right, Dave Traber. We've got a second life against Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the semifinal match. Now comes up with a chance to win the tournament. 2 strikes and 8 pins wins. Anything less, it's a loss.
Look at that skill on that tough right lane, David Traber.
Well, this is what separates the touring players from the also-rans out here, Chris. I see thousands, literally, in 20-some years out here who had the ability, but can they throw it under pressure in national television? Somebody says, how do you practice for that? I says, there's only one way. It's like having somebody with a gun at your head, and right now, Traber needs a strike and 8 pins to win the tournament.
Now, Bo.
8 pins to win, 7's a tie, 6 is a loss. Right up the ladder. Now, what do you do when you need 8 pins and you know a lane has a chance to slide by? Chris, this is one time I think you got to edge your feet about 2 boards to the right and throw a rocket right at the 1-3 pocket and hope you don't go high. He can't take a chance on sending it wide.
Tough competitor, as we've seen last year at the PBA. Gets a warm handshake from the runner-up, Eric Forkel, a kiss from Melissa, his wife. So he has won his 2nd national title. David Traber, we will return to Baltimore.
Bacon! Is that bacon I smell?
Got a taste for a burger with bacon.
Oh, I love bacon!
Crisp hot bacon sounds good to me.
McDonald's! You better have one for me.
McDonald's Bacon Double Cheeseburger, a bacon lover's dream with savory, smoky bacon, is just 99 cents. Or get a morning fresh bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, only 99 cents for a limited time.
Get back here right now.
Splitfire earned a United States patent. Splitfire doesn't look like any other spark plug. And the patented Splitfire doesn't work like any other spark plug.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. Quicker in the quarter mile. A 4.8% gain in mileage.
There's nothing like a Splitfire. You'll get more power and more mileage, or your money back.
You'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed.
You're unbelievable.
It's like ballet with a boom.
Be the ball.
I like the action. It's action.
Hey, Pins, you're dust. Be the ball.
It's all in the beard.
The grass. The approach.
Mine. The shoe.
You're unbelievable.
Somebody.
You're
Your frame.
I am the ball.
Who loves your ball?
You're unbelievable.
David Traber, 217 to 214. Eric Forkel, $18,000 to the winner. Get this, the margin of victory today, a total of 11 pins. As Dennis Baldwin is down on the floor, along with Kurt Lozano, Melissa and David Traber are the victors today. Congratulations to them. Next week we'll be at Carolina Lanes in New Jersey for the Johnny Petraglia Open. For Bo Burden, all of us at ABC, I'm Chris Shankle. Goodbye from Chesapeake Bay.
ABC Sports coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour has been brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Calcium-rich Tums. Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium. And McDonald's. Have you had your break today? Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Paul Wiley, Victor Petrango, and Kurt Browning compete in the Fresh Look World Challenge of Champions. Plus, snowboarding from Colorado and freestyle skiing from France. Next, here on ABC. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports. Recognized around the world